This is the Tranny Finder versus the Tranny Finder Plus, and compared to all in the Korua line that we've tried. So to give this a quick summary, this is the Korua board that's probably more of their like do everything board than almost any other Korua board except for maybe the Auto. It's got more tail. It's still got that crazy Korua sizing that just doesn't seem to like apply to most. Usually you see these specs like a 27 centimeter waist almost, and you know, just a super wide nose, 3 centimeters of taper. You're like, gosh, I don't know who this is going to be for. And then you get on it and it has this very universal appeal. Well, I like certain aspects of the dart, the stealth, the Tranny Finder Plus and the pencil more. This does a lot. Let's get into the flex here. It's a stiff flex. We rode this 57 last year. Grant actually owned one, and it was just really stiff and really aggressive for us. It was almost just too much. Korua wrote us and it said we're going to send out a Tranny Finder again because last year and some of their production models came out a little bit stiffer than they wanted, and we were on one of those. I used to say, the 54 is a little better. Now I'm like, nope, I like the 57.
57's way better.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
fits right for my specs and it fits right for Grant's specs. Yeah. You can see there's just lots of room here on this board for Grant's size 11, 10.5 Adidas, and my size 9, 8.5 Adidas. It just really works. The weight of this board feels just a little bit on the heavy side. And then the Tranny Finder Plus 57 that we compared this against feels way light. It's like, this feels like borderline heavy, medium heavy. This feels ultra light, like lightest of light. It's just such a night and day difference. I wish that had a little more weight, and I wish this had a little less weight.
But when you're riding this, it doesn't, it feels great.
It all goes out the window. Yeah, you don't care.
You instantly forget about how heavy it was when you're carrying it to the lift line.
I don't care about the chair. I care about going down,
right.
You know? And if you're somebody though who has knee discomfort, maybe Tranny Finder Plus when you're on the chair. This camber profile, this on snow feel, and who it's for, it's definitely for that advanced expert rider. Almost all the Korua boards are. They really just don't have an entry-level kind of intermediate board unless you want to ride the way that you used to ride in the old Camber days when you learned and you just got fucked up, you know?
People aren't doing that anymore.
No. But if you want to, it's a little easier than the old Camber days, but these are pretty stiff, mostly camber boards. You're looking at a little bit of early rise and then just a healthy bow of camber. Check the on the table review. It tracks well. It's got that mostly camber feel. So it's got that old school camber feel, but then it really surprises you in powder. It doesn't have that old school camber feel there.
Completely different.
It's a floating master. You know, the edge hold, all Korua boards definitely do an amazing job for nothing disrupted in the side cut. I think they're very grippy boards. Don't you?
Yeah, and I kind of prefer that for carving and for powder. Generally speaking, I prefer non-disrupted edge, especially on like, you know, clean corduroy. You get that smooth, like really predictable carve.
Yeah.
Not to say that other boards don't have that with disrupted edge, but I appreciate it in the Korua line.
I think this holds a little better at speed and uneven terrain than the Tranny Finder Plus, because that can, it's so light and poppy, sometimes it can kind of buck and you can get off your edge a little bit. In some really hard snow, I felt like, yeah, the Melomag on some Jones boards, or like the disrupted side cut of like Yes's underbite that I was riding,
right,
have much better grip in that hard snow. Not much better, but was a little bit better. Where this, I was still surprised. I thought I was gonna like wash out because it was just getting pretty hard. You know, we were getting down towards that cement block of ice underneath the groomers. I was out of Jackson, and it can get a little hard, and I was surprised though that this kept its edge, kept in there, and I wasn't like losing my edge on a carve. So that was kind of cool. I Turn initiation. This is fast.
Yeah, it's great.
This and the Dart and the Tranny Finder Plus, I feel like are the fastest turners of this line. It's weird when you look at the specs, you think they'd all turn the same, all ride the same, but they're all so different. And that's really fun. I thought it was fast, didn't you?
Yeah, loved it.
Yeah, and
it's fast. It's yeah, and like I said, great edge hold. I mean, it's a great carver all around.
Turning experience and carving. I mean, these are the yearning for turning guys. These boards,
they're all great.
Just fucking rip in a carve. It just depends on how you like to carve. If you're surfy and you understand surfing, when you drop into a wave and you make that bottom turn, if you lean back on your back foot, you might not like this as much. If you drive off that front foot, right? That's how you have to do turns on these. You have to kind of drive off that front foot, and when you do, it really shines. But if you want to lean back, you can too with this. Where the Pencil Plus and the Dart kind of really, Pencil Plus for the most part really just likes a front foot drive, you know, likes a positive stance. This you can duck it out a little bit, you can, or zero and go back a little bit, but this likes that back foot forward a little more. The Stealth is the best for, you know, more friendly back foot centered, and the Dart is good both ways, but a little better front. So a lot of our back foot carver friends like this, but preferred the Stealth better when it came to that. But if you're thinking about air, you'll like this.
You gotta go with this one. Yeah,
this has more tail
on the Dart.
Hang on, let me show the show the good reader in a comparison. Like if you just see these two together, you see like, yeah, which one would you rather land on? You know, and then you know, and even the Stealth, like the Stealth is just further down. You know, it's closer. That's pretty close.
Close.
Yeah, so that one's kind of doable too, but I still prefer the Tranny Finder a little more. Although, if you really want to just really focus on air and carves, and you're more into a double ender, then you're gonna love the Auto. That's just a board I'd love to own. Speed, this just destroyed the Tranny Finder in a lot of ways. In terms of dampness, if you're just pointing
this is the Tranny Finder.
Tranny Finder Plus, sorry. Yeah. This just destroyed.
There's uneven snow.
Yeah, uneven snow, this just powers over it and just bombs.
It's heavier, it's more damp.
I'd rather bomb on this in Perfect Groomers than I would on the Tranny Finder Plus.
Right.
Because it just starts to kind of slow down. Yeah. I mean, it just bucks too much. It's just too chattery, but that base is faster. It's got better glide. This has better dampness. Switch, it's doable, but if you want to ride a Korua board, you want the Auto or something else. As far as powder goes, check our powder review. Peter and I are a little on, you know, little on the sauce, and just talking freely. You've got like 45 minutes. Just kidding, but something like that. It was a long one to talk about one thing. But that's our experience of this in powder. We felt like the Tranny Finder of all these boards was probably our least favorite in terms of powder, but still, if you compare it on the grand scheme of things, it's better, but you're getting more tail.
Still in the top 10% of all powder boards, easily.
Yeah, it's really floaty.
Yeah.
And this early rise, check the on the table review, you can see like the setback on board, the early rise, how it all comes into play. But this wide, big nose, tapered tail, and just all the surface area, just these things all really float well. But and we had some deep powder I was in on this, and it was one of the only ones I felt really comfortable doing like a butter in deep powder, because I knew I had that tail, where the rest of these didn't really feel that confident at it. The Stealth was pretty good though, but the Stealth outshined this in powder, going up doing the cinder cone, then going back up with the Stealth and doing the cinder cone. I was like, oh yeah, I'd rather be on the Stealth personally. And if powder is more important than air, then you probably want to go that way, or the Dart, or the, you know, or the Pencil. Overall, I think the Tranny Finder like ticks a lot more boxes than maybe some of these boards are more specialized, where they really shine in one area more. but this one I think just ticks a lot more boxes. This and the Auto are kind of more of the one-trick pony. If you have lots of different riding styles, and I think this fits like a wider variety of riders and riders' riding style preferences. So this could be really fun. However, for me, like, my love lies in the Auto, you know, the pencil.
I like the pencil.
And the dart. And the dart. That's what really shined for us, but I could see you could have a beautiful life with this board too, and you might like it better than we did if you ride a little different than us. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. Grant, what else do you have to say about this?
No, like
little guy?
Yeah, on, like as you said, on this board, loved it, and I had a stiffer version. Yeah, it's a great board. Maybe for someone who wants something a little bit more directional than the Auto, maybe they're already on a twin and want to get something that's not really committing to a fully directional powder board as much as like the pencil. I mean, this is still very directional.
Yeah.
But as much as like the dart or the pencil or the stealth, then this could be a good option. I mean, aesthetically, what attracted me to this board is I really love the outline of it. It's a cool board. It's a little bit more of an all-arounder than some of the others.
Yeah,